Giants in the Emerald City. Madison Bumgarner's resume is impressive. A two-time All-Star, World Series MVP, and a three-time World Champion. Felix Hernandez is a five-time All-Star and former Cy Young Award winner who's been a force for a decade with the Mariners. It's a matchup of aces in Game 1 of the series, and it's coming up next. This five-game road trip begins tonight as we come to you from Safeco Field here in Seattle as we get ready for Game 1 of this short two-game series, Giants and Mariners. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants go 1-4 on the homestand. They did win the game yesterday, and tonight everybody kind of, Mike, has circled this game because of the two starters. It's really a fabulous matchup.
Well, they should. I mean, you're talking about a 9-game winner in Felix Hernandez, who is arguably a guy who has some of the best stuff in the world, taking on Madison Bumgarner, who's 7-3 and loves the challenge of facing an ace. Now, the Giants are going to get tested. They come into this game with averaging over 5 runs a game on the road. Well, this is not an easy ballpark to hit in, and, of course, they're facing a guy who is one of the best. So there's your challenge. Let's see how good this offense is, and for Madison Bumgarner, he's going to have to answer whatever zero gets thrown his way. That'll be the key. Big matchup tonight. It is Madison Bumgarner on the hill for the Giants against King Felix for the Seattle Mariners. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
broadcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Mariners have taken the field here at Safeco Field. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Hey, good time to get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 73 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds are calm. The roof is open. And it is a clear night. Never rains in Seattle.
Never.
Let's take a look at the Giants lineup. Remember, we have the DH. It'll be Aoki, Panic, and then Pagan. Buster Posey, see what he's done the last 8 games. Followed by Belt, Crawford, and Duffy. McGee will be the DH, and Maxwell will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Seattle Mariners will be the big right-hander, Felix Hernandez. Hernandez, 6'3", 230-pounder. In 13 starts this year, he has gone 9-3 with a 3.38 ERA, 82 strikeouts against 25 walks in 82 innings. You're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball, more lows than mids, but he's got 3 great specialty pitches, all strikeout pitches. A very good curveball, slider, but he's got one of the best splits in the game. That really is a money pitch for him, but it gets a lot of strikeouts. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Hernandez. For the Mariners starting in the outfield, it'll be Blomquist, Jackson, and Cruz. Good arms in center and right. Miller and Sager on the left side of the infield. Cano and Morrison on the right side. Mike Zunino will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Nori Aoki. A lot of Giants fans here tonight.
Oh, they had the Let's Go Giants chant going, and it was loud.
Yeah, I think it ticked off some folks here in Seattle. So here's Aoki. Hitting at 323 as he waits on Felix Hernandez, and the first pitch of the ball game is a called strike. So we get started right on time at 7:10. Aoki on the ground. It'll be Cano to his left, and that's how this game gets started on a 4-3 putout. We talked about his last start, which was a total disaster for Hernandez.
Well, worst start of his career. 1/3 of an inning, 5 hits allowed, a couple of walks, 8 runs, 8 earned runs.
So he's had to sit on that for a few days as Panic takes a strike. Panic hitting at 311 with 6 home runs, 25 runs batted in. He has never faced Hernandez before. And he takes low and in. In that 2-game series in San Francisco, Panic was 1 for 7. He also drew a walk yesterday. Trying to reach for Pagan and then Posey. Just underway here in Seattle. And there's a breaking ball, and it's 1-2, and that's called by Bill Welke. John Tompane at first, James Hoy at second, John Hirschbeck at third.
Bill Welke, you'll see low and you'll see high strikes. His corners can be a little erratic, but he does look for strikes.
Out of play. Panic trying to hit it into the King Felix section, where once Hernandez gets 2 strikes on a hitter, they all stand up with K signs. It's pretty cool. It really is.
There they go. Yeah,
if I were Panic, cool. I'd try to hit like 9 foul balls in that section. He's trying. Out of play. It stays at 1-2.
King Felix Hernandez, just turned 29 years old in April. He's in his 10th year at the big league level. Got to the big leagues at a fairly early age. He's really had a solid career.
High and wide, 2-2. Well, what's he got?
Well,
we talked about the 4 pitches that he has: the fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. But the changeup, the split, is really one of the better ones in the game. And he's got a good curveball tonight. Everything he throws up there, he can strike you out with.
Curveball got him.
Oh, like that. He's also a guy that will ride a good pitch. If he gets that curveball working, he'll sit on it. And then all of a sudden, he may pick up the split in the 4th inning. And it's just a big, hard breaker. Starts off about your letters and winds up in the dirt. I mean, that's a lot of spin.
So he's ahead of the game from his last start. He's got 2 outs, and here's Pagan. And Pagan takes the ball. Pagan hitting .274. Started to get things going against the Mariners. 2 for 4 on Monday. And 1 for 4 in the game yesterday. Here he bounces this one to Morrison, and it'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Hernandez. Bumgarner coming out. Mariners coming up. It's Bumgarner to face this lineup. It'll be Jackson, Cano, and then Nelson Cruz. And Nelson Cruz just has big numbers across the board. Then it's Seager. Trumbo will be the DH. Morrison will hit 6, and it's Bloomquist and Miller. And Zunino, the catcher, will hit 9.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner, the 6'5", 235-pound, 25-year-old left-hander. 5-year veteran at the big league level. He's 7-3 this year with a 3.16 ERA, 79 strikeouts, just 16 walks. With Bumgarner, you get the low 3/4 release, a fastball that'll sit low 90s with a natural cut that works into a righty away from a lefty. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Bumgarner tonight. Starting in the outfield from left to right will be Aoki, Pagan, and Maxwell, the best arm in right field. Crawford, Duffy will be on the left side of the infield. Panic and Bell to the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. Second career start for Bumgarner against Seattle. He has no record in one outing, but he went 8 strong innings the time that he did face him. Allowed 3 hits and just 1 earned run.
So here's Jackson. Jackson takes high. 271 for Austin Jackson with 3 home runs. He's got 11 runs knocked in, and here he hits a foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson on Monday hit second in the lineup, went 2 for 4. Waits on Bumgarner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bounces it foul. On deck is Robinson Cano. first breaking ball down low, 2-2. The Mariners are 29-36. A lot of people believe this is an underachievement right now. Just inside, 3-2.
Now, I think they are underachievers. One of the big underachievers is the on-deck hitter, Robinson Cano, but the 2 games we saw him back in San Francisco, he's starting to heat up.
He looked fine. A little pop-up into shallow right field. Coming in is Maxwell, and he will make the catch. 1 out here in the first.
Well, that was the matchup that faced Madison Bumgarner and Felix Hernandez 3 years ago today here at Safeco Field. And that was that 8-inning outing where he allowed 3 hits and struck out 4. And both guys, no decisions.
Here's Cano. First pitch is wide. Cano's never faced Bumgarner before. Two for 5 on Monday, and then he took an 0 for 4 yesterday. And that's a bit wide. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Nelson Cruz. Just underway here in Seattle on a picture-perfect night. As this is popped up, maybe playable. Duffy over by the Giants dugout, and it's in the first row on a nice catch.
Brought his glove.
All right, hand it over. Let's go.
Give it up. He's a Louisville guy, and
it'll make your night a lot better. Hand it over.
He already stuffed it in the glove. Dude. Seriously.
Killing me. And it's wide. 3-1. Look, she's looking at the ball. Hand it over.
Well, he put it in this glove right here. Now, it's a redeeming quality if it's her glove.
That's true. Out of play. 3-2.
94-mile-an-hour fastball from Bumgarner. That's big velocity. So I think he definitely has brought his A game into this challenge tonight, taking on Felix Hernandez and the Mariners. All right, we'll just stick that one right there, dear.
So payoff pitch coming up to Cano. Cap foul. I suppose he hoping he had a little spin on that baseball where it might actually stay fair. Mariners are coming off an 8-game road trip where they went 4-4. And their record at home isn't very good. It's 13-19. So if they're going to be a factor in the American League West, then that has to improve. Off of Buster Posey, it remains 3-2.
If you look at this ballpark, very little wind right now, if any.
It's a great yard.
It's gorgeous. It's a great city. It's gorgeous. Clean, beautiful. There is carry at this ballpark to right field. That's where you get some home runs. Very difficult to hit the ball out of this ballpark from left center to right center. You've got to earn it if you're going to take on the middle of the field.
Got him. Above the belt. 2 down.
Just go country hardballing. 3-2 challenge right across the letters. And round 1 goes to Bumgarner. And this will definitely be a very interesting matchup as the night progresses between these two.
Well, this will be a good matchup as well. Cruz hitting .311, 18 big flies, 41 driven in. could be the free agent signing of the offseason by any team. Pops this one above us. He was 0 for 9 in that 2-game series in San Francisco. Swing, ain't gonna miss. Never been 2.
That's a good hard slider right there. That's 89-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Velocity-wise, this is some of the best stuff he's had all year.
Got him. And the crowd roars here in Seattle.
Game on.
Second inning coming up. In 2012 here in Seattle, Felix Hernandez threw a perfect game with 12 strikeouts through 107 pitches. It was the 23rd perfect game in the major leagues. And how about this? The third of that year. Philip Humber and Matt Cain also threw perfect games in 2012. The year of the perfect game. They went decades without perfect games. Here's Buster Posey. Buster on the first pitch, flips one into center field for a base hit. Another hit for Posey on the first pitch. And here's Brandon Belt.
And this is something he started in spring training, and it's real simple. That may be the best pitch I get.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Here's Belt. Belt hitting at 280. Did not have a hit in that 2-game series. He went 0 for 7. And Belt down the left field line, slicing, foul.
Makes a play, a few high fives right in front of King Felix's crowd.
I don't know. He's pretty close to the action there, isn't he?
I'm not sure they appreciated it.
They're all looking at the guy. How did you get this seat? In the dirt. Zunino, a nice block. Crawford to follow. We are in the top of the second inning. Morrison holding on Posey. And it's wide to Belt. So we're watching now Felix Hernandez out of the stretch for the first time. Sometimes it gets weird for certain guys.
Well, the first time you get in, it's just a different release. Usually it takes a guy 2-3 pitches before you figure it out.
2-2.
But those are 2 or 3 pitches of vulnerability, and you know, you often can feel for the relief pitcher coming out. I mean, he's got to really be able to adjust quickly to a mound, especially guys coming into an existing inning with runners on base.
Got him.
Fastball, absolutely perfect location, outside corner at the knees. He set the target wide, and he goes right through the glove. And Mike Zunino, the catcher, hardly even has to move.
So here's Crawford. Crawford 0 for 3 yesterday, but he did have a couple of hits on Monday. And kind of a half swing, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's the split. You can see the movement that runs hard away from the lefty. I mean, that's a good sinker for a lot of people. And we haven't seen Brandon Crawford break down mid-swing very often this year. When he pulls the trigger, he usually lets it go.
Block by Zunino. Second really good block of the inning.
When Hernandez first got to the big leagues, he was throwing 96, 99. Much more of a thrower than pitcher. I mean, he's evolved into a very good pitcher, but he didn't throw it as hard anymore. His velocity low 90s for the most part. Occasionally he'll go into mids.
Tapped, foul, so it's now 1-2.
But that's what specialty pitches do to you. I mean, you come into the league throwing 99, all of a sudden you learn a curveball, a slider, and a split, and it's going to take away some fastball. As we mentioned, this is his 10th season at the big league level. And granted, he is still 29 years old, which is prime time for a pitcher. Between 28 and 33, that's your 5-year window. But those pitches have eroded the velocity of the fastball.
Crawford on the ground. Morrison's got it. That's 1. Not in time. So Crawford beats the relay, allowing Duffy to hit here in the second.
Well, with Matt Duffy coming into that batter's box, it is time now for our T-Mobile game changer. Yesterday, Matt Duffy hits home run number 6 off Jay Happ, who was stunned that Duffy got to this pitch because it was exactly where he wanted to throw it. But that is our T-Mobile game changer, home run number 6, and it tied Joe Panik, and they have a little tete-a-tete going on, each hitter with 6 home runs. It's a little side bet on the year. They're having fun with it.
So here's Duffy. So what did Duffy say to Amy G when she brought it up about Panik? Your move?
Your move. I tied you. Ball's in your court.
0-1 to Duffy. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. Casey McGee to follow. It's Jens. He flips one into left field, a base hit.
Well, these are all the hits that Duffy has had. Yesterday, that was the home run. Now, he's hitting from the right side here, so that is right on the belt. That is not a hanger. That's the one he beat for a home run. You see the other red marks are the other home runs that he's hit. Middle in, for the most part, is where he's gone long. But, I mean, he's covering the whole strike zone. And the thing about Duffy that's so impressive is he's using the whole field.
Here's McGee. McGee dribbles it foul. At second is Crawford. Duffy at first. Maxwell watching in the on-deck circle. McGee had a big pinch hit in the game yesterday. Hit one over the head of Nelson Cruz. Where he takes in the dirt. This is a ball that a lot of people may say, well, Cruz has got to catch this. I don't know, maybe.
Well, it would have been a good play, but the wall, not familiar with the territory, the fact he doesn't get a lot of playing time in right field, you add it all up, and it would have been a very good play had he been able to make it. But Casey McGee said, thank you very much. I'm owed one of those. And indeed he was.
Curveball. 2 balls and a strike.
McGee has hit a lot of balls on the nose this year, and he's got not a whole lot for it. So if yesterday was a bit of a break, well, hey, he's earned a few.
On the ground to short. Miller shovels it to Cano, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. 0-0.
Well, Sunday, June 28th is Hello Kitty Day at AT&T Park. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Hello Kitty Giants bobblehead. And fans who purchase a Hello Kitty Day special event package will receive a collector's edition Hello Kitty Giants gnome as well. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. Check it out.
Here's Kyle Seager. And he takes a strike. 11 home runs. He hit his 11th off of Jeremy Afell. In San Francisco, he's got 36 runs batted in. Swing, he ain't gonna miss. Another again, 2. You're right, he does have a good live fastball tonight.
It's jumping.
Got him.
I mean, he's got life up above the belt. I mean, you don't see him throw a lot of pitches consistently over the belt that has this type of velocity, and he's just abusing guys right now.
So here's Trumbo. Odd to see Trumbo in a Seattle uniform when we watched Trumbo the last year and a half in a D-backs uniform. See his numbers combined between the D-backs and Seattle. He has had 14 lifetime at-bats against Bumgarner. He's got 3 hits, and in those 3 hits are a triple and a home run. And a strike. On deck is Logan Morrison. Tried to backdoor him and just missed.
It could have been called a strike. Not only does he have a little second hop in the fastball and a little extra snap of the breaking balls, but his location has been stellar.
A half swing and a miss. 2-2.
You're talking about breaking a guy down. I watched it happen with King Felix and Brandon Crawford. Well, Bumgarner just does it to Trumbo. That last swing will make you choke up on the bat.
Hit on the ground. Crawford, backhand to Belt. 2 outs. And here's Logan Morrison.
You know, it's amazing what aces do to a clubhouse. It basically is a challenge. And every Giants player knew that they were going to face King Felix this first game in Seattle. And every Mariners hitter knew that they were going to face Bumgarner first game here in Seattle. And it absolutely adds a little hop to everybody's step. And both pitchers have shown up.
So Morrison takes high. He's got a little bit of ownage on Bumgarner. 12 at bats, 5 hits. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, 94. Second stage hop right through a guy who's had ownage on him in a 1-0 count. And you know he's looking for the fastball. That's when you know you have a good one. When you can throw it by him when they're looking for it.
1-2. And he'll get stubborn to the fastball too.
Oh, he'll tell you it's coming.
Will he throw him another one?
Absolutely.
.95. He indeed threw him another one, just a little faster.
is brought to you by Casino Matrix, Silicon Valley's premier 24/7 entertainment destination.
Well, it's time to cast your vote for your Giants to be part of the 2015 MLB All-Star Games. And you vote to get them in the starting lineup. Go to sfgiants.com/vote and cast your vote through the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. sfgiants.com/vote. Don't vote for those two guys, although we do appreciate the sign.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They're the Gamer family, by the way.
From Tumwater, Washington.
Maxwell takes up and in.
I always thought when you're matching up against somebody really good and you knew you had to bring your A game into a game, it was easier to be a visiting player.
Hit into left center field, but it's right at Jackson, who's going to put it away. Well, Warriors NBA championship parade. That's right. A parade. We love parades. It'll be Friday at 9 o'clock and on CSN Bay Area and streaming on NBC Sports Live Extra. So check it out, the parade. And congratulations to the Warriors. What a fun season. And thanks for bringing it home.
Amen. Isn't that a great picture right there?
Thanks for bringing it home. Well, they're surrounding the right guy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. A true MVP.
Here's Aoki, who takes down low.
But if you're the visiting pitcher, you're going to know what that home pitcher is going to throw at you. And it's just your responsibility to try and answer. So if Felix Hernandez throws a 0 up there, then you know what you have to do in response. Some guys feel it's an advantage the other way to throw a 0 on top of a guy and see if you can answer, put pressure on him. It's just different perspective.
2-0 pitch. And he pours it in for a strike. No, he's got it going right now. Joe Panik on deck. 1 out. Fly ball into center field for Jackson again. 2 outs.
Well, the Bay Area has definitely had their share of celebration here in the last 5 years. 4 world championships. All tremendous emotional rides. And at the end, get to plant a flag. No better audience on this planet.
Here's Panik. Panik struck out in the first. We were talking with Ryan Vogelsong in the dugout before the Giants took batting practice about the flight home after you win a world championship. And he basically said there's nothing like that flight home. And we've seen some pictures on Twitter of Warriors players as this is driven into the gap. Cruz is going to try to cut it off. He does. And he holds Panik to a single. And there's some great shots of the Warrior players.
How about Iguodala asleep with the MVP trophy in his lap? Right now it's time for our Geico quote. Steve Kerr on the Warriors winning the NBA championship. I could not be happier for our fan base because they support us through everything. So Steve Kerr, you are right on, and congratulations. What a job he did. Wow.
Here's Pagan. So if you're Steve Kerr, where do you go from here? I guess you got to win another one, right?
Absolutely. You got to start stringing them together.
That's like Freddie Lynn, most valuable player,
Rookie of the year,
World Series champion, rookie year. What do you do?
Change sports.
A high hopper to Morrison, and that's going to end the inning. No runs, a hit, one left. Bloomquist, Miller, Zunino coming up. Willie McCovey hit a walk-off pinch hit home run off of Joe Nuxel. It was a 2-run home run, and the Giants beat the Reds 3-2. Joe Nuxel. Look up, Google Joe Nuxel, and you'll find out that his first pitch in the big leagues, he was 15 years old.
It's pretty remarkable.
15 years old. I didn't even know how to talk to a girl when I was 15. And he's throwing to big leaguers. And I mean, like Hall of Famers.
Well, Willie McCovey.
Here's Bloomquist. 1 ball and no strikes. Bloomquist. Duffy. 1 out. That ball was by Duffy, and he speared it before it got to the outfield.
Well, Duffy had to play even with a bag. I mean, he's right there respecting the possible bunt from Bloomquist. And Bloomquist goes up there looking for fastball, middle in, gets it, and just trigger pulls a bullet. And all Duffy could do is get his glove up in time to snag it.
There aren't many balls hit to an infielder where you're worried about the webbing in your glove. Well, that's one where you are. Here's Miller, who swings and misses. Miller at 237. He hit a home run to the opposite field at AT&T Park. And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Again, steady at 94 miles per hour. He's topped out at 95. He had one of those last inning.
Miller hit that home run yesterday off of Lincecum.
Opposite way. Backspinned it out.
Got him.
It's 5 strikeouts, all by swing and miss strike threes.
Dave Fleming is on assignment. John Miller will be in here. I'll head over to the KMBR side to sit with Lee Jones and make sure Lee agrees with everything that I have to say.
He usually does.
John's looking good tonight. I like that red tie. Here's Zunino. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's now 0-2. Bumgarner way out in front, 0-2. And the fastball is high, taken by Zunino. Low, 2-2.
Bumgarner has really been dominant with the fastball. He really hasn't established the changeup or the curveball. Been pretty much fastball, slider, go get him, and mostly fastballs.
Next time round. 2-2 pitch. He goes around. That'll end the inning. 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 0-0.
The 4th inning, and John Miller, welcome aboard.
Hey, I heard there was a great pitchers matchup here, almost like in a World Series game, so I decided I want to do it on TV at least for a while.
How about Bumgarner? 6 strikeouts through the first 9 guys.
All swinging and a little bit sharper so far than Felix Hernandez, and that's saying something because Felix has looked pretty sharp. Hernandez has only allowed 3 hits, but 2 of those were bloops. The first one by Buster Posey, and as the King's Court looks on here in Seattle, there is Buster Posey. If they had an election for King in San Francisco, Buster probably get a few votes.
I'd vote for him.
It's high and foul and out of play. It'll be a very late sunset up here in the Northwest, the Pacific Northwest. So that sun reflecting off the scoreboard here, which has always been a big issue from the earliest days in this ballpark, will continue later than it might ordinarily in a more southerly locale like San Francisco, let's say. 0-2 the count now. And in the dark shadows, the hitter and the pitcher, and then that bright sun reflects off that scoreboard. And that's all for Buster Posey. Third strikeout for King Felix.
The King's Court very excited about strikeout number 3. Well, there's definitely a challenge going on between Felix Hernandez and Madison Bumgarner right now. I mean, there is some electricity in this ballpark tonight because of the 2 starting pitchers.
This is really, it's the best of interleague play. This is, I think, what the proponents of interleague play were talking about when they were trying to win approval for it. That ball is hammered deep right field, and Cruz on the warning track. And apparently just enough topspin on that one because it died in a hurry. Very loud off the bat.
Well, you hit the right word, topspin. That's the only thing that kept that thing in the yard, because he hits this ball right on the nose. But topspin, you're not going to get carry. And it completely killed it. And you can see the reaction from Hernandez. I think he thought off the crack of the bat, like everybody thought it was going to be out of here.
So 2 quick outs for Felix Hernandez. Here is Crawford, and he drops a bunt third base side, or he tried to, but fouled it, and it's 0-1. Brandon Crawford grounded into a force play, his first time. Hernandez wants a new baseball, and he gets one. And Bill Welke tosses that one out of play. But this one with the outstanding National League ace Bumgarner and a postseason hero, and the great American League ace King Felix, that has that feel almost like a first game of a World Series. The 2 leagues meeting each other, and it adds I think a little bit to the whole feel of it, in that Bumgarner was there and historically there as one of the great October pitchers of all time just last October. 2-1 the count.
Well, and I think Felix Hernandez appreciated the macho that Madison Bumgarner brought back to the starting pitcher position with what he did last October.
Into left center field, and that'll stay in the yard. Bloomquist, that one carried well. The inning is over. We go to the last of the 4th. Top of the order coming up for the Mariners against Bumgarner. No score.
Brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Well, have you heard about Pence on the Fence? It's a true Giants fan must-have. Friday, July 10th, is Social Media Night presented by AT&T. Your special event package will include a game ticket, see the Giants take on the Phillies, and your very own Pence on the Fence doll. Reminder, to receive the Pence on the Fence doll, you need to purchase the special event ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Top of the order, second time through, Austin Jackson, and that's the breaking ball for a called strike.
I think of all the Mariners, the one guy outside of Willie Bloomquist that jumped on a first pitch fastball, hit a screaming line drive. I thought Austin Jackson had a great at bat his first AB.
He hit a fly ball into shallow right center. Ultimately hit sharply, but right to Duffy. One away.
They're not exactly testing the range of Matt Duffy at third base right now.
They're just hitting it as hard as they can right at him.
I mean, he's getting some bullets coming his way. Now, you said you had the speed of that line drive that was hit off the bat of Willie Bloomquist. That was a really hard hit ball.
That on the StatCast on the MLB app, they clocked it at 100 miles an hour off the bat. And what was he? 88 feet away. He was in on the edge of the grass.
He was playing in, respected a bunt.
Ball one to Robinson Cano. You see now he's in a little bit, but he's well wide of third base against this left-handed hitter. Cano struck out his first time. 2-0. Robinson Cano has been a great player in the American League for several years. Last time he failed to hit at least 300 in a season was 7 years ago. Patiently took 2 fastballs away, and then the swing and a miss on that fastball. And Bumgarner has consistently tonight been around 94, even 95. And he's been getting a whole lot of swinging and missing going on. But Cano somehow this year just has not been able to get it going, hitting only .235 with only 2 home runs. 2-1. Off the outside. 3-1 now.
Well, the at-bats we saw him have in San Francisco the last 2 games were solid. And you see a guy have at-bats like that, even though he's not getting hits, you know that the hits are not far behind. He hit a lot of balls hard.
That will go back out of play. Now it's 3-2. Bumgarner's pumping fastballs at him right now.
Well, he pumped fastballs at him his first at bat, struck him out.
Cano, who not only hit over 300 year after year with the Yankees, but hit a lot of home runs, 25 or more, several years in a row. 3-2 pitch. Over the mound, and there is Crawford, who is shading him toward the middle. 2 down.
You got a lot of experienced veteran hitters on this Mariners team. The type of hitters that really make adjustments well within a game. And it'll be interesting to see how they approach Bumgarner this second time through after the dominant first time through the lineup that Bumgarner had, striking out 6 of the Mariners.
Cano, when he got back to the dugout after that ground ball, before he jumped into the dugout, he spun around and looked out at this big center field scoreboard to see what that pitch was. Just to have it, I guess, what, clear in his mind? Was it one he should have swung out? Was it one he should have hit? As Nelson Cruz takes ball 1. Cruz struck out his first time.
Well, this generation's all about film. They watch a lot of video of their opponents, of themselves.
Back in left field. Aoki on the warning track. The inning is over. And that has Bumgarner talking to himself. He has retired 12 in a row. On to the 5th inning. Duffy coming up. No score.
offense National League rankings on the road. Well, they're first in runs per game, they're first in batting average, they're first in on-base percentage, and they're first in slugging percentage. Other than that, they're average. And that's our Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Thanks for that. Something I hadn't really thought about.
Well, 5+ runs a game. When the Giants were in the midst of their 9-game home losing streak, they were averaging just a little over 2 runs per game.
Duffy, who hit a single his first time, and the count is 0-1, facing Felix Hernandez. So far, this matchup has lived up to the pregame billing. The two aces have pitched like aces. Check swing and a foul over to the Mariner dugout. Strike 2.
You hate to give up a strike with a check swing, especially to a pitcher like Hernandez.
Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bumgarner 6 strikeouts and no base runners allowed yet, although Nelson Cruz hit one pretty well. But caught on the warning track by Aoki. That is just fouled.
Oh, babe. Dorothy picking it clean. A bit.
Fifth inning, no score. There's the King's Court with 2 strikes. They get it going with those K placards.
Exactly where he wanted to put that curveball. The curveball is such a big break. I mean, it's a high 3/4 release, so because of that arm slot and the arm angle, you're going to get a very acute break on the curveball. And he's got a nice feel with that pitch, which is another thing that makes this guy quite special.
June 2. Base hit. Quite an at bat for Matt Duffy. He takes the big turn. He'll hold on there.
He can hit.
He's 2 for 2 in the game against King Felix.
I mean, he's got as good a 2-strike adjustment in the way that he thinks as any other hitter on this Giants team. I mean, he just toughens up. He can take swing out. He can use the right side of the field. He can go back up the middle. And that's what good hitters do.
And it's 0-1 to Casey McGee, who hit a ground ball into a force out for the final out of the 2nd inning. McGee, who had a big hit yesterday as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, that kind of put a lid on that game for the Giants. It made it 6-2, and he scorched that ball. There goes Duffy. Little hit and run action for the Giants, and the ball fouled, and it's 0-2. Maxwell is on deck.
Felix Hernandez is a big guy, 6'4", 235 pounds. And he can be very slow out of the stretch, but he also, if he goes slide step, can be quick. So he's not that easy to steal on.
Strike 3 call. Fourth strikeout for Hernandez.
Now, the only way you take a pitch like this in a 2-strike situation is if you're guessing off speed. And experienced hitters will do that. He was not looking fastball. He was not looking in. Looking for something soft out over the plate, and he just got fooled. Guessed wrong.
Justin Maxwell now. He got something off speed. 0-1. Maxwell hit a fly ball to left center his first time.
The faithful, you just have to know where to find them. In this ballpark tonight, you don't have to look too hard to find Giants fans.
before the game, about 10-15 minutes before the first pitch, Giants fans just broke out into a "Let's go Giant" chant, and it almost sounded like the Giants were home. 1 strike to count. Now Felix steps off the slab. Before the Mariners were born, there were a lot of Giants fans up here because that was the closest major league team to the Pacific Northwest. At least the closest. The A's moved to Oakland in 1968. Giants in 58 to San Francisco. 0-2 to Maxwell. The Mariners were born in the 1977 American League expansion with the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Kings Court, they've got those K placards going again out there in left field. Everybody on their feet. And he got the K. That's number 5 for the King. 2 down. I have a theory about the King's Court out there, all those people.
Yeah.
That they all went to Duke. They stand and they wave those. It's like what's it called, the indoor insane asylum there at Duke when they play basketball.
Yeah.
And they all stand up behind the basket when the opposing team is shooting free throws, and they got that waving things and jumping up and down and whatnot.
I like that theory.
It's just a theory.
And they all moved out here to Seattle at the same time. And they realized they had a skill.
You're analyzing my theory now.
And they needed to apply their skill.
What if we, whenever the King pitches, we have an area, and we'll do the same thing we did on free throws. Logan Morrison, and Aoki is retired. He's 0 for 3. Still scoreless halfway through. We go to the last of the 5th. Seager, the cleanup man, coming up against Bumgarner.
Is brought to you by Mendocino Redwood, available exclusively at the Home Depot.
Giants will be home next Tuesday, 3 with the Padres, and then on the weekend, starting the 26th, the Colorado Rockies come in, and that'll be a fireworks night, Friday the 26th, presented by Snapple. Saturday the 27th, Skyline Sox giveaway presented by Johnsonville, and the Sunday day game on the 28th, the first 20,000 fans receive a Hello Kitty bobblehead. sfgiants.com/tickets. Called strike Bumgarner to Seager. Seager struck out his first time. Bumgarner has retired 12 in a row to start the game. The Giants had the big overshift on. 3 infielders to the right of second. Only Duffy remains on the left, and he's still over near third. To left field. Aoki going back. Now he squares up. One away. Seager is 0 for 2. Seager, who has hit 11 home runs this year, including a long one in San Francisco this past Monday night. Now Mark Trumbo. Trumbo, he has done some damage against Bumgarner of recent vintage. Opening night of the year, the first game of the year, the only run Bumgarner allowed in his first game of the season was on an RBI triple by Trumbo. And he really had a very weak looking swing on that curveball, and the count is 0-1. Then 10 days later, he hit a home run against Bumgarner in San Francisco.
Hey, the Gamber Babes from Fresno are here.
And self-proclaimed.
I like that.
On one the count to Trumbo. And a pop foul. So Bumgarner followed up that curve at 78 with the slider or cutter at 88, and it's 0-2. But this guy certainly got Bumgarner's attention earlier this year when he was with the D-backs. And he is a legitimate home run threat. Back in our direction and into the crowd.
Well, one thing that Bumgarner has really done a great job, and that's getting the ball in on Trumbo. Trumbo, a tall hitter, and he wants to get his arms extended. That's where his power is. And he really has had a lot of bent arm swings tonight against Bumgarner. From Bumgarner's perspective, you do that, you've done a good job.
0-2. Right to the shortstop. Takes a real bad hop. Crawford recovers and then into the seats and gives away an extra base. Wow. That ball was booby trapped.
They just ruled this a base hit, and they cannot do that. They've ruled it a base hit and an error. Now the ball comes up on Crawford, and you know that is, I'm sure, the consideration that the official scorer has. But in that's the first hit of the game. You know the old saying about the first hit's got to be a clean hit. That's not a clean hit.
So here comes Logan Morrison. Man, that was like the proverbial pebble out there in the infield. And it's 0-1. First base runner of the night, and they scored a hit. So if they'd already had a hit or 3 hits or whatever, okay, very bad hop, give them a hit. But that's sort of one of the unwritten rules. Make that first hit be a clean one. 0-2.
Bumgarner is going right through the letters of Zunino, or Logan Morrison, I beg your pardon. And he is not responding to the fastball. This is rare. This is a really good fastball hitter right here.
Morrison struck out his first time. Crawford pulled over toward the middle at shortstop. Got a piece of that one to stay alive. Texas Rangers lead the Dodgers 3-0 going to the 4th inning at Dodger Stadium. The young rookie sensation of the Rangers, Joey Gallo, hit a 2-run homer against Clayton Kershaw in the 3rd inning of that game. Here, no score. Last of the 5th. The Mariners with their first runner in scoring position. And the curve smothered in the dirt by Buster. 1-2.
The other thing, too, is there was zero deliberation on the part of the official scorer. He made that ruling right away.
And so the discussion is not about whether that was the right call. It was whether it was the right call under the circumstances. Just got a piece of it off the glove of Buster.
First time tonight he's been in the stretch.
1 ball, 2 strikes as Morrison hangs tough after getting into a quick 2-strike hole. Bloomquist, another guy who has had success against Bumgarner, on deck. Popped up. Duffy on the run. Gets there. Does he? No. Oh. And into the seats. Oh.
Turns around to protect himself, and the fence just cuts his legs out. And it looked like he may have fallen into the one spectator who was very close. And maybe he did break the fall.
Well, a frightening moment there for Duffy.
The guy did not drop one of the fried cheese curds, so he's happy.
And Duffy's happy.
Semi.
1-2. Off the outside.
And he knows the fence is coming. He turns around to protect himself, and he's just cut right there at the knees, and into the stands he goes. So, yeah, he did not drop a cheese curd.
Two and two to Morrison. Struck him out.
And again, the high fastball.
Willie Bloomquist up now with 2 down.
Now this was Bloomquist's last at bat. He jumped on the very first pitch that Bumgarner threw him, dug it out, and just hit a 100-mile-an-hour, literally a 100-mile-an-hour bullet to Duffy, who was playing in on the grass. Definitely the hardest ball hit off of Bumgarner, who has 7 swing and miss strike threes now.
Still working in the 5th inning. Bloomquist. To Brandon Belt. A couple of line drives to either side of the infield, both caught for Bloomquist. A Giants nemesis. Panic. Pagan Posey coming up. No score. At 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Game 2 of the series. The Giants will have Ryan Vogelsong up against a rookie, Mike Montgomery, who has pitched extremely well for the Mariners since being called up for the minors. Game 2 of the series tomorrow, plus complete pre- and post-game coverage, and Giants insider Alex Pavlovich at CSNBayArea.com. The home of the authentic Giants fan is Comcast Sportsnet. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, Dwayne Kuiper over on the radio side right now, painting verbal pictures expertly, brilliantly. Dave Fleming on assignment. He went to the wrong Washington. Can you believe it? We're up here in Seattle, Washington. He went to Washington, D.C.
It's not like Dave to make those kinds of mistakes.
While he was there, he went ahead and worked the Nationals game. It wasn't a complete waste of time for him. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joe Paddock. Paddock has struck out, and he ripped a single into right center his last time. Giants have had 4 hits in the game. 2 hit real well and 2 bloops. Right to the shortstop, Miller.
Well, the Warriors NBA Championship Parade will be Friday at 9 a.m. and you can see it on CSN Bay Area and streaming on NBC Sports Live Extra. Authentic Warriors fans finally get the moment they deserve. Papa Saint and Roz, they'll lead the team with exclusive blue carpet coverage. Why would you watch it anywhere but on the authentic home of your 2015 World Champion Warriors, CSN Bay Area, and streamed on NBC Sports Live Extra.
So here's Pagan, who twice has grounded out to first, and a curveball for a called strike. Meanwhile, in L.A., the Texas Rangers now have a 4-0 lead over Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in the last of the 4th inning. No score here, 6th inning. Felix Hernandez. And it's down and away. He's allowed 4 hits to the Giants. He's had 5 strikeouts, no walks. Bumgarner has allowed 1 infield hit on a bad hop to short. And no walks with 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. 1-1 the count. Curveball. There is Cano. Out number 2. So Pagano's hit 3 ground balls to the right side. 0 for 3, and now Buster Posey will come up. Buster has blooped a single to center and struck out. Liam Connolly of the Giants public relations staff talking to the official score. I don't have any listing of the name of oh, here it is. The official score, Eric Radovich. Eric Radovich in there for a called strike.
Well, we understand that he is approachable and that he is not above making a change if an argument is persuasive, and we're hoping that Liam can make that argument.
0-2.
That's a good curveball. I mean, he's got everything working on the curveball. I mean, you're talking about size, quickness, and command.
You got the K's going out there in left field as Buster hits that 2-strike pitch foul. King's Court. It's kind of a cool scene out there whenever King Felix pitches a game here at Safeco Field.
Oh, it's very cool. The fact they get up all, stand up and start shaking their K cards in 2-strike counts. Very cool.
2 strikes to Buster.
Very cool unless you're in the batter's box. Not that you can see those when you're in the batter's box, but I have a feeling that as a hitter, you definitely know what's going on out there.
Buster Posey, who has faced some of the top American League pitchers in World Series play. Lunging for one, popping it up. Morrison in foul ground. 6 scoreless innings in the books for Felix Hernandez. Now Bumgarner back to the mound. The bottom of the order coming up for the Mariners.
Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Giants and Mariners scoreless. Last of the 6th inning. The big matchup. The American League ace Felix Hernandez of the Mariners, who shut out the Giants for 6. And the National League ace Madison Bumgarner, who was the toast of the postseason last year, had one of the greatest performances in postseason, maybe the greatest for an entire postseason. Brad Miller struck out his first time. He's the 8th place hitter, leading it off. He shows bunt and takes a little bit high for ball 1. The only hit of the game for the Mariners was a ground ball right to the shortstop, and it hit something out there and took a vicious bounce up off the sternum of Brandon Crawford, hit by Mark Trumbo. Was Maxwell. That ball was hit very hard. Maxwell was there to cover up.
Here is that play you're talking about in the 5th inning. Trumbo hits it, looked like a pretty routine ground ball, and then boom, it comes up on Crawford in desperation to save the no-hitter. He airmails a throw, and it winds up costing him an error anyway with the throw. But the official scorer ruled that that indeed was a hit because of the bat hop.
Single and an error was the official scorer's ruling. Zunino, who struck out his first time, he's the 9th place hitter. Ball 1. Zunino, who is hitting only 162, but he is a genuine power threat. 7 home runs this year. Nothing to nothing. 6th inning. 1 out, nobody on. That spins him out of there. 2-0. Pitch number 68 thrown by Bumgarner in this one. So the pitch count has not been particularly high. He's averaged about 13 pitches per inning up till now. Behind in the count, though. And 3-0.
I could be happy with that. That was a slider that Posey wanted on the 2-0 count. Just flew that front shoulder out. You do that when you try and overthrow it.
Three and 1.
Well, that's a look from over there in King's Court. I mean, you're right amongst all the card holders down there. They too take a half inning off when King Felix leaves the mound.
So there's nothing of any interest going on right now for them. 3 and 2.
Nope, that's the time you put your arm around your date, you know.
Hey, what do you want to do after the game? How much longer do you think we're going to be up before the King gets back out there in the mound?
And as Giants fan, right in the middle of the King's Court.
Out of play on that foul ball. 3 and 2. Dwayne Kuiper over on the radio side right now. He'll be coming back to the television booth for the 7th inning. And got a piece of it again.
3-2 slider.
Jackson, the leadoff man, is on deck. Same first pitch starting time tomorrow, 7:10 p.m. First pitch with Vogelsong and Montgomery. Friday night, the Giants and the Dodgers. That's a clean base hit right through the hole.
Well, I think that the official score feels a little better now. Pressure is definitely off. But a pretty nice at bat from Zunino. Very persistent in his approach. He fought off some good pitches. Bumgarner putting the pressure on him, not wanting to walk him. So he did get a pretty good pitch to hit. It was in the strike zone, and he took advantage of it.
It's Austin Jackson. He's flying out to shallow right center. Grounded out to third. This is the beginning of the third time through the batting order for Bumgarner. And it's 0-1. Jackson, a Tiger back in 2012. He saw Bumgarner in that World Series. Game 2 and in San Francisco, which was a big win for the Giants. It put them up 2-0.
Check that runner.
1-1 now.
Jackson's got good speed. He's only hit into one double play this whole year. Giants will respect the bunt. I mean, he will drag bunt. Duffy in on the grass at third. And now they're relaxing him back a little bit.
A little bit low. 2-1. Jackson not noted as a very patient hitter. He rarely walks. He's had only 10 walks this year. He's had 179 official at bats, only a .314 on base percentage. That one is hit well. Deep right center. Pagan. No. And he seemed to shy away from it at the last moment. Zunino heading home. The relay. He's in. 1-0 Seattle. And I think Maxwell must have been close enough that Pagan feared crashing into him as he started to reach out for this ball, and he pulled his glove back.
And he absolutely picked up. Watch right there at the end. The arm kind of comes in, and he whiffs on it. And watch the eyes. See if he takes his eyes off of the ball. And there you see, he makes eye contact with Maxwell, so he was indeed distracted. And despite it all, they almost pulled it off.
Giants looking at the video with Sean Dunston and Chad Chopp in the video room to see if there's any evidence that maybe a tag was made. And the angle we saw, you couldn't say yes. So the Mariners have broken through for a 1-0 lead. A double by Jackson. He took third on the throw to the plate. And now they're threatening to get more. The infield comes in for the Giants with Robinson Cano at the plate. Strike one. And it all got started on the determined plate appearance by Zunino. Just kept battling and battling and finally got a clean single to left. And then Jackson, a ball that right at the last looked like it was going to be caught by Pagan.
Well, I definitely feel that he was distracted.
Base hit, and that will make it 2-0. Down the right field line. Maxwell picks it up. Cano will stop at second with a double. 2-0 Mariners.
And this is the play at the plate. And man, that's close. I mean, even from then, that angle, you couldn't tell if he caught Zunino high on the back of the jersey. I mean, from that angle right there, I thought he missed him, but you really had no angle where you could see definitive separation.
So now Cruz is going to be walked intentionally with the left-handed hitting Seager on deck. This will set up the double play and get the lefty versus lefty percentage. Robinson Cano with his 17th double of the year. He's only had 2 home runs, but he's had a lot of doubles. So 2 men on, still 1 out, and 2 runs in. And Seager will come up. And all the hitters who have hit the ball in this inning have hit it hard. The 1 out of the inning was Brad Miller. He hit a line drive into right center field that was caught, and a line drive single by Zunino. Jackson with that big drive into deep right center for a double, and Cano with the smash past the first base bag for a double. Ball 1.
He's got to get after him here with 1 out. I mean, they can't really afford to walk him or pitch around him. That is not an open base. 2 outs, different story, but with 1 out, you cannot walk a runner to third base and set up a runner at third less than 2 out scenario by way of the walk.
1-1.
It's kind of one of those scenarios where the game situation protects you as a hitter. It means you're going to get something to hit.
Cano at second, Cruz at first. Shallow left center. Jets have this one surrounded, and it is Aoki, although it looked like Pagan was trying to call for it. Aoki went ahead and stepped in front of him and made the catch. 2 down.
Aoki, who currently ranks 3rd in the All-Star voting. Now, when you see a center fielder call as adamantly as Pagan did, I mean, that means clear out. Center fielders have veto power. They have the right to any ball that they feel they can get to. Once they call it, you're supposed to bail, and it's a corner outfielder.
Here's Mark Trumbo, 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1 way inside. The Giants bullpen has activity going now with Mike Broadway starting to warm up. There he is. This has been a long, stressful inning for Bumgarner. This will be his 25th pitch of the 6th inning.
Well, he can pitch around Trumbo if he wants to. He could choose as to who he wants to pitch to between Trumbo and Morrison.
And now he's got Cano hung up and the tag by Panic, and the inning is over. As it turned out, he didn't have to pitch to either one of them. But the Mariners have jumped ahead. Dwayne Kuiper coming back from the radio side. Bell coming up. The Giants are down 2-0.
Your local Toyota dealer, your through 6 full innings, and you can see the matchup between the starters, Bumgarner and Hernandez. 6 solid. Both have allowed 4 hits, 2 runs by Bumgarner, 1 walk by Bumgarner, none by Hernandez, 7 strikeouts to 5 by Hernandez, and Bumgarner's throwing 16 more pitches. And through 6 full, 2-0 Mariners. We're on the top of the 7th. Here again to tell you all about it, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, and it'll be Brandon Belt to lead things off. Belt is 0 for 2. And he takes a curveball for a strike. Crawford on deck, and then Duffy out of play.
Time now for our Togo's big play the Togo's way. Yesterday, Brandon Belt playing left field came up with the defensive play of the day in the outfield. Had to go a long way and denied Kyle Seager of extra bases. A nice play. That's our Togo's big play the Togo's way.
So we had a break in the action. We threw a ball on the field. It's 0-2 to Belt. In the dirt, 1-2.
Good pitch, good take.
So Belt trying to get on. The 1-2 pitch is just outside, 2-2. Giants trying to make some noise, get some people on base. Three and two. The difference really in the game is the Giants have scattered their hits. The Mariners put 3 of their 4 hits back to back to back. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Belt trying to reach. And he drives it to right, but it's right at Cruz.
Good bat.
And that'll bring up Crawford.
Pitch count not an issue with Felix Hernandez. 78 pitches through 1 out here in the 7th.
Crawford tonight has reached center fielder's choice on a ground ball. Then he hit a fly ball to left. He takes a strike with that curveball. Just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He misses. He's not missing by a whole bunch.
No, he didn't. I want to know what that guy in Houston looked like. You know, the guy that went 1/3 of an inning?
Yeah, they said he was Felix Hernandez, who went in his last start 1/3 of an inning and allowed 8 runs.
Crawford on the ground up the middle. Cano on the back end. And Morrison couldn't hang on. So a little casual all the way around, but that's just the way Cano plays. And they're going to give Cano an error.
It's a bit unusual because he had time to set his feet. Ball hit sharply, and he had time to plant, but he just goes right with the momentum and just makes a little off balance, underhanded flip. And Morrison could not handle the high 1-hop. So the Giants get a break here.
So here's Duffy, who's 2 for 2. And Duffy hits a high fly ball into right center field. Jackson on the move. And he's going to put it away. 2 outs. And that'll bring up McGee. McGee bounced out in the second, struck out looking in the fifth. Right now, just trying to move the line along, get Maxwell a shot. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Instead, McGee trying to tie it up.
He absolutely was. That nasty little breaking ball about 6 inches off the dirt. It's not the one you're going to hit out of this ballpark.
In the dirt. Nice job by Zunino. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Maxwell on deck. Like it hung up a little bit and it's fouled out of play. It's 1-2.
And he was on it. And that's one you could hit out of a ballpark. Had a little hang to it, little elevation.
In the dirt.
Nice block by Zunino.
Two and two to Casey McGee, trying to extend the inning here in the 7th. Pulls it foul.
Change up. Just a little out front.
Good battle going on right now. Hernandez McGee. 3-2.
You're right. He's put on a good at bat here.
Yes, he is.
You know exactly what McGee's thinking too. I mean, he's got the power to do it. And he should get a pretty good pitch to hit here. Hernandez with a 2-0 lead. Didn't want to walk anybody.
Pulls it foul. Crawford at first with 2 outs. Next pitch will be number 90 for Felix Hernandez. Crawford goes, and he walked him.
Great.
That's a pretty tough take right there.
Keep the line moving.
And that's the
From
first
0-2
walk
to a
issue.
walk against this guy, that's doing something, because that is not an easy one to take there.
Here's Maxwell. Maxwell's 0 for 2. Big chopper to third. Seager's got it. His throw in time, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's 2-0. out to pitch the bottom of the 7th with Seattle leading 2-0. He's facing Trumbo. Trumbo was at the plate when Cano got picked off. Morrison and then Bloomquist. There's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike.
34,844.
Giants have 6 more outs in this game. As this is hit well to left, Aoki back, and Aoki will put it away.
Now this ballpark, I have not got figured out. You see balls hit off the crack of the bat, you're thinking, uh-oh. And they're not even getting close.
Jumbo's walking back thinking, need to hit that at Chase Field.
Chase Field, you're rubbing up a new ball.
So here's Logan Morrison. One ball and no strikes on the curveball. Morrison is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Two balls, no strikes. Swing. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's almost like he was going to swing no matter what on that 2-0 pitch.
Foul back. It's 2-2.
Almost looked like he was in the swing no matter where that 2-1 pitch was.
Well, if that's true, then he's going to swing right here.
That's what those last 2 swings look like.
Well, I'm going along with you. I'm just going to call this ahead of time. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
Okay. I'm writing it down in red ink right here. Good call, partner. I mean, kind of a swing in his mind, but that is a hat trick for Logan Morrison on the called strike 3. 8th strikeout. This is the first called strike 3 for Bumgarner, and that is a gift. There is not a hitter on this planet watching this game that thinks that's a strike. Although everybody has there put a toe plate on and pitched right down the middle.
Here's Bloomquist. Bloomquist is lined out to third and then hit a soft line drive to Belt to end the 5th inning. Bounces it foul. It's Chris Woodward who's coaching at third. Didn't look like Rich Donnelly. Not the Rich Donnelly we know.
Rich Donnelly was third base yesterday.
Out of play. So Bumgarner gets a new baseball. It's 0-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th. For the Giants in the 8th inning, they'll have the top of the order and Nori Aoki to lead things off. Got him, and that'll end the inning. 9 strikeouts for Bumgarner. As I mentioned, top of the order coming up. It's 2-0 Seattle. Here we go. Cano got him. Oh, by the way, Nelson got him. So Seager and Morrison and Miller and Zunino, followed by Morrison and oh by the way Morrison and oh by the way Bloomquist. And that's their Ford right choice.
Well, and that's a lot of fastballs for strike threes, for swing and miss strike threes. Of the 9 strikeouts, only 1 has been a called strike 3.
Here's Nori Aoki. Giants have had their leadoff hitter one time on base, and that was Duffy led off the 5th. Otherwise, they've had to start things off with at least 1 or 2 outs. So here in the 8th, when you're looking to tie or take the lead, a leadoff hitter reaching would be a good thing. And it's not going to happen. 1 out. Here's Panic. Joe Panic is 1 for 3. He did, in his last at bat, hit a line drive right at Brett Miller. By the way, James Jones is now in left field. Bloomquist is out of the game. So Panic trying to get on now for Pagan. Here's the pitch. For ball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
That was a good curveball. I mean, he had snap on that thing back in the first inning, and here on pitch number 94, it's as nasty. Does not look like he's got any signs of fatigue at all.
One ball and 1 strike to Panic. And a strike, a low strike, 1 and 2.
Joe Panic doesn't say a whole lot in rebuttal to a call that he disagrees with, but you can tell that he was not too happy about that one.
Two and 2. That 92 mile an hour fastball has been just about the same since the first inning. 92.
And he does not overthrow either. I mean, he definitely throws at a speed that he can control. So tried to bounce a 2-2 breaking ball. Joe Panic spit on it.
Payoff pitch, and he walks him.
Another good at bat for Joe Panic. Well, with Father's Day about a week away, we have the perfect gift for Giants fans. It's Father's Day gift pack starting as low as $49. The gift pack will include tickets to 2 Giants games and world champion cufflinks. 2 ball games plus the cufflinks. Perfect gift for the old man. Go to sfgiants.com/mini pack.
Pagan has bounced out 3 times to the right side of the infield. See if he can shoot one by Logan Morrison at first. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. And guess what the velocity was?
92. And guess what the location was? Perfect outside, knee high, outside corner.
Hit the left. Jones just into the game will make the catch. 2 outs. And here's Posey.
Charlie Furbish, the lefty, starting to heat up. Pitch count somewhat of an issue. Hernandez has got 120 in him. Easy. But they are not going to let him have a long inning this inning.
Posey 1 for 3. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
And if you look at how the Giants are stacking up behind Posey, you got to believe that this is going to be the last hitter that Hernandez faces no matter what.
One ball, no strikes. Panic with his lead. And a strike to Buster Posey to even the count. In the dirt, blocked by Zunino. He's done a good job tonight doing that. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, think about Hernandez. I mean, when he's missed out of the strike zone tonight, it's usually been below the strike zone. Has not made many mistakes above the belt.
Buster Posey trying to move the line along, or maybe even knock one over the fence, and timeout is called. I'm not sure by which player, or maybe just by the umpire. It's 2-1.
Yep, break it out.
Foul, 2-2. So Hernandez gets it to 2-2.
Here we go. Get position.
Breaking ball nubbed right back to Hernandez, and that's going to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. It's 2-0.
Presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live highlights, reaction, analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. So Bumgarner back out on the mound, and he'll be facing Miller, Zunino, and Jackson. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. We talked about the consistency of Hernandez's velocity. Really, Bumgarner's been the same. There's Broadway getting loose.
Bumgarner has been between 93 and 95 all night, mostly 94s.
Shot on the no, it was caught in the air by Panic. So Miller retired, and that'll bring up Zunino. Zunino with a 1-out single in the 6th, and that got the rally going. It was the first of 3 straight hits for the Mariners. Swing and a miss, an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
Charlie Furbish looks like he's getting ready to pitch the 9th.
0-2.
Big curveball. It really has been a duel between Hernandez and Bumgarner. Just been some unfortunate luck for Bumgarner, and that's the difference in this game. Giants have not played as clean a defensive game as the Mariners have.
Duffy to his left. Tune in the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KNBR tomorrow morning, and I'll talk about the game with the fellas on KNBR 680, the sports leader. So here's Jackson. Jackson tripled in the 6th inning.
Well, that was the big hit in the game. And it was a play that we think that Angel Pagan was a bit distracted with Justin Maxwell closing in on the ball. And just a little bit of miscommunication. It was a 3-base mistake. And to the Mariners' credit, they would capitalize with a 2-run inning, and that is the difference in the game.
As it was, Buster Posey trying to tag Zunino, missed him by about what, 3 inches?
Yeah. Maybe less. We really couldn't tell if he perhaps did touch his uniform a bit. There was no argument for Posey, which really would lead you to believe that he indeed did miss it.
I think Bumgarner would like 10 strikeouts, don't you? 2-2.
Well, yeah, I think he'd like to strike out Austin Jackson just because he had the big hit in the game.
In the dirt, so now a full count for the Giants in the 9th. It'll be Belt, Crawford, Duffy, and then Moore. At least that's what they're hoping for. It's 3-2. On the ground to Crawford, who charges, takes his time, and that'll end the inning. 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. Belt to lead things off. Felix Hernandez, who after it's all said and done, he goes 8 innings, allows 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And he was very good tonight.
Yeah, he really was. And when you consider what he did his last outing, 1/3 of an inning, 8 earned runs. I mean, it's a different cat out there tonight. He was dominant. Just a beautiful job of using 4 pitches so effectively. And I mean, he never really had a difference in his stuff from the 1st inning to the 8th inning. He has electricity his entire outing.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in Smog Experts.
So Charlie Furbish, the new pitcher now for Seattle, you see what he has done in a short period of time, meaning 28 games, he's only amassed 18 innings. He's been a specialist.
And he's facing Belt, and Belt takes a strike.
Furbish at one time was a starter, a 4-pitch guy, low 90s fastball with a curveball, slider, changeup. Sorry, partner.
Oh, and 1 to Belt. Belt goes around again, 0-2. So Belt would like to start this at bat over again. Into center field. 1 out.
Well, it came as advertised. We promised a duel tonight between a couple of aces, and that's exactly what they did. Just 4 hits allowed by each pitcher through 8 innings. 2 runs allowed by Bumgarner. 9 strikeout night for Bumgarner. I mean, both guys really pitched beautifully. And unfortunately, the Giants down 2 runs here, and Bumgarner is on the hook.
So here's Crawford. Crawford is 0 for 3.
Pretty healthy breaking ball right there.
With a healthy rip, 0-2.
Well, you see one curveball, you make your adjustment to it. That's exactly what he did, and he was on that one.
Chest high 92 taken by Crawford. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't think Crawford would have minded at all if that would have hit him in the leg. 2-2. There's Maxwell on deck.
Giants fans starting up their cheer. They've been raucous all night long.
Out of play. The object right now here in the 9th is get the tying run to the plate, and then we change the objective after that. 3-2.
Pretty good bat right here.
2 hook, and I mean an explosive hook, determines the at-bat.
So Lloyd McClendon's coming out. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Out. It'll be the Warriors NBA Championship Parade in Oakland on CSN Bay Area and streaming on NBC Sports Live Extra. Check it out. They're fun. We've been in them, and it'll be the experience of a lifetime for those who are in the parade and for those who are watching the parade. Trust us on that. Carson Smith is the new pitcher.
Take a look at the numbers for Carson Smith. He has climbed the ladder of the bullpen when Fernando Rodney sort of fell out of favor. He has been the guy who has inherited the closer role. Low 3-quarter delivery. A big guy, 6'6", 215-pound rookie. 2 pitches. You're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s with sink and a hard slider.
Out of play.
And some funkiness. We have to say happy birthday to Doc Ock. Ken Akazuki, the Giants orthopedic surgeon, having a birthday. 55 years old today. And we're going to mention that because that's going to be the rally birthday cry.
Down the right field line, this is going to reach the front row of the seats and then out again. 55. Wow.
So they're going to save Doc Ock for when the Giants absolutely needed him. And right now they need him. Down to their last strike.
I think that number's a little low.
I think you're going to be older than that.
0-2 to Duffy. As Bob Uecker might say, just a little bit outside. Ueck's all right. He got dinged, had a concussion the other day.
Got hit by a ball in Kansas City.
1-2. Look out, 2-2.
96, heat seeking coming right in on your chin. This guy cannot be a comfortable with that.
Oh, it is. So Duffy will hang in there, 2-2. And that'll end the inning and the game. So game 1 in this short 2-game series goes to the Mariners behind Felix Hernandez. Bumgarner pitched terrific as well, but he's going to get the loss. And it was as advertised.
Well, it really was. And it's hard to believe that Madison Bumgarner is going to walk out here with a loss thinking that he was a losing pitcher because he pitched beautifully. But tonight it was all about Felix Hernandez and the bullpen that put 9 zeros on the board. Tough night for the Giants offense.
So from Safeco Field, here's your final. The Mariners 2 and the Giants nothing. Stay